That's item number 2 of new.
Yes, sir.
Accepting the annexation election. Now that has that all been approved and whatnot, ratified through the...
Item 1. Item 2 is accepting the annexation. Yeah, item 2 is...
That's all been kosher as far as the election commission?
Yes,
all
they've
that.
certified everything. They informed us.
"30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds.
The other ones are just 1 of 3 on the new business.
As far as I understand, zone text, and then, like I say, number 2 is 1 of 1, and yeah, the others should just be 1 of 3. You got water? Yeah. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Thursday, November 21st council meeting. We'll call this to order. If you would, this time we'll observe a moment of silence. If you would stand with me, you can pray, you can meditate. At this time I use to pray to my God, and if you would, remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would, join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. All right, this time, Ms. Skelton, would you give us a roll call, please, and thank you.
Mr. George?
Here.
Ms. Barraza? Here. Ms. Young? Mr. Olson? Mr. Bradley?
Here.
Mr. Westcott?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gray?
Here.
Mr. Keller?
Here.
Mayor Teague?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
And myself. You have a quorum.
All right, thank you, Ms. Skelton. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got 2 things on the minutes this week. Now, we have to vote on both of those separately. So if you, on October 17th, 2024 and October 21st, 2024, what's the will of council on the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Or all in favor? Any opposed? All right. We also have, we had a clerical error on November 16th, 2023. I believe a ordinance number was written incorrectly. And so we've got an amended minutes from November 16th, 2023.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the amended minutes for November 16th, 2023. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. At this time, Ms. Brittany Baker, our finance director, will give us the finance report.
All right, for your viewing pleasure is the finance report for this month. The general fund revenues for the month of October in total was $2,270,958, and this is 2.81% above what was budgeted. $991,352 of that was sales tax and state turnback. $505,435 was franchise fees and permits. $774,171 was other revenue. A tax revenue comparison between the city and the county sales tax year-to-date analysis. We're just a touch under what we were in 2023 for the city. For the city's portion of the county, we're a touch above at 5.6 million compared to 5.5 last year. City and county actual versus the budget year-to-date analysis. City is just a bit below budget at 4.12% below. County, or the city's portion of the county, is above budget, 0.21. General fund expenditures for October were $1,463,493, and this is 3.7 below the year-to-date budgeted amount. $958,601 of that was personnel-related expenditures. $504,892 was utilities and other. For street fund revenues for the month of October, in totality it was $939,413, of which $597,955 was from the 2021 sales tax. $235,328 was state turnback and ad valorem tax. $56,810 was interest, and $2,600 was street cutting permits. Street operating revenue is 12.6 above projections. If you exclude the interest, it's 0.63 above projections. Street fund expenditures for the month of October, operational expenditures were $593,252, of which $132,283 were personnel-related expenses, $460,969 were utilities and other. Street capital spending was $735 for sideboards and decals, and the half-cent road tax spending was $2,108, and that was towards the Raise Grant project. Out of the 2014 sales tax spending was $375,311, and that was towards the Corps of Engineer project. 2021 sales tax spending was $590,803. That was towards pavement preservation, drainage projects, and downtown improvements. Economic development. The month of October's revenue was $119,199, of which $89,922 was new sales tax and rent. $29,277 was interest and advertisements. Expenditures totaled $25,089. In totality, that was for a Dakota top dresser for Parks and Rec. Balances of the various economic development funds as of October 31st, 2024 are listed below. You can see that breakdown there in the 4 different funds. Total, they equal $5,691,017.03. Capital assets, October revenue was $248,331. 741 of that was interest. $247,590 was airport grants. Expenditures totaled $253,073. All of that was towards the airport apron improvements, Taxiway Bravo construction, and the Taxiway rehabilitation project. The 2021 1-cent sales tax, the unspent balance at 10/31/24 was $22,544,881. And below you can see between the 4 groups that it's split into: the street, RFD and RPD capital, parks and economic development and capital, what's received, spent, and the balance remaining. And that concludes the finance report. Any questions?
At the beginning, with the sales tax revenue, there was an other revenue. Is that mostly interest, or is there, can you break down that other revenue just a little
Let me
bit?
go back to that slide. Which fund?
The very beginning.
General, I believe he was talking about is that the transfer from Fund 10? Was that what he was talking about, the $700,000 that was
Potentially.
there?
I don't have that breakdown in front of me right now, but I can certainly find it and get it to you.
It's not a big deal.
We
yeah.
did have a large transfer from Fund 10 that would
It
come
was
over
the
to the general
startup-
fund.
It was the startup cost of Fund 10, the EMS services. It was appropriated previously, but it had never been, the funds hadn't actually been moved yet. So there's a transfer for that amount as well as the expenditures from previous year.
So that's where I think that large sum was from, so.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Ms. Baker. All right, moving on to the mayor's report. We did want to acknowledge, I'm not sure if James has the picture up to be able to see. We had a picture perfect contest on social media, and the winner was a lady named Jeannie Smith, and she took this picture. It was taken out behind, right off North Arkansas, behind A1 Tower near Shiloh Park. And so that was one of our contests. That is truly a beautiful picture. It looks like a postcard. So it's really amazing. We do have lots of beautiful places around Russellville. So we do want to acknowledge Miss Smith. I don't believe she is here, but thank you, Miss Smith. If you're watching this, we do appreciate it, and we appreciate living in such a beautiful place. So, all right, Mr. Terry Thomas, you got 2 minutes and 2 seconds? No, I'm just kidding. You're going to have to stretch that microphone way up there.
Yeah, Brittany lowered it down.
Yep. So,
All right, y'all saved the best department head department thing for
well, I thought that
last.
was next month.
So,
I thought that was
yeah.
next month.
No,
I'm not sure who it
there's
is.
not
But
one, there's not one next month. So, all right, I'm going to start here with just saying this has been a crazy year for the Parks and Rec Department between all of our events, all of our tournaments, and all of the good stuff that we have done. We've had a very exciting year, very productive year. Getting things done. We're just going to go through a few slides here and show you what we got.
Is it not working?
Okay, hang on. Here we go. There we go. All right, that's just our introduction there. That's some of our family-friendly things that we've got. I'm going to start out with soccer here. If you haven't been to the soccer complex lately, it has grown. It has improved greatly with our new light system that we have. We've been working on our sprinkler system all year. If you know anything about sprinkler systems, they're a constant working in progress type of thing. As you can see there, the grass has come in very well. We are starting to get some people talking about tournaments here in Russellville. We've got teams that are stopping here and wanting to play. We've even had colleges stop on their way to their games and play here and practice on our fields. So we're greatly improving that. If you haven't been out there lately, we overseeded a couple of weeks ago. It is very green out there right now. We made it through that drought. So that is our soccer complex. The new lights went on field 8, and that is one of our biggest soccer fields, which that field is kind of a multi-use field. It can be used for many different layouts of fields. I think they even laid out a flag football field on it this past season. So that field can also be used for 6 to 8 fields, where our other fields can only be 1 and 2 fields. So that's greatly improved our practice times and our game times out there. The next one is Pleasant View Pond, the rehab of it. As you can see, we put our docks out there, all new parking. There was all the parking we had was gravel. We used that for several fishing derbies during the year. I have been out there on several occasions already and seen people in wheelchairs using that. So it is getting very used. Our next project out there, our next event out there is Trout Day. It's coming up the first week of December. So if you want to do some trout fishing, you go out there and do some trout fishing with a game and fish.
That's December 7th.
December 2nd, yes. But that is all ADA accessible, and it really turned out well. This, as you know, was our biggest project of the year, the turf project. I put the pictures on the right there. That is baseball being played at the softball complex, and the bottom picture is softball being played at the baseball complex. So that way you can see that this is versatile. If we have a big softball tournament, we can use all 8 fields. If we have a big baseball tournament, we can convert them, have all 8 fields. I just snapped the little girl in the middle there because my daughter's a catcher and I really like that picture. So that was a 6 and under picture, so it was pretty cool. I just wish I could show you all the pictures on my phone I have of all the teams that have come in here over the past year. We had 27 tournaments this past year. which on normal, we have about 15. That brought in 770 teams to our town. Last year, we brought in 235, I think, and the year before that, about 245. So we've nearly tripled what we bring in as far as baseball, softball. That's about 9,000 kids coming through our park. That doesn't count our local leagues. That doesn't count the fans. That just counts the kids playing on the field.
Do you equate that to the turf?
I do. I do.
Oh, yeah.
We have people calling us wanting to put tournaments on here. We don't have to call them anymore. Right now, we are pretty much booked for 2025. We're turning tournaments away right now. So that's a good thing for us. We've got nearly every available weekend booked up. And it's rocking right along. I want to thank all my maintenance people that worked all these weekends. Matt Gray, he worked numerous hours on these tournaments. And I mean, it's just, the turf is wonderful. I hope we get to turf the rest of our fields at a later date. But it's just been really good out there. Show you a few other projects that we did. As you can see, we did there's the turf again. The parking lot at Pleasant View was great. That parking lot was about 20-something years old. New playground at Hickey Park, new pavilion at Hickey Park. And then we started doing our trails amenities, putting benches and box stations and tables along our trails. We've got a few more tables ordered, a few more benches ordered that we will be installing probably here next year in 2025. Also, we just finished our playground at Washburn. I didn't have time to get a picture of it on this slide. It's finished. It's open to the public, ready to go.
Looks amazing.
Looks really nice out there. Hopefully next year we'll get the pavilion out there replaced, and that park will really be new because that is probably our second most rented park other than City Park, of course, you know, because of the splash pad. Other projects we did that are not pictures, I wish I could show you all these pictures, but it would just take way too long. We did backstops at Pleasant View. We've done the new fences out of the outfields. We bought some new lane lines at Hickey Pool. We had our first meet there toward the end of the year. We hadn't had a meet there, and I couldn't tell you how many years. We've got people really wanting to come in and do some swim meets because we have the longer pool. So we're ready. We're really ready for next year on that, we hope. So this is all the people behind the scenes. These are maintenance workers. As you can see, Public Works is up there helping us in the top left. And got Pam over there, my secretary. She's mowing at the skate park. And these are just all the people at the bottom there, the flower beds. Those are volunteers from the Master Gardeners. They help us a lot out at Washburn too, getting that flower bed done. It's a humongous flower bed. So as you can see, these are just our people behind the scenes. The next scene is our crowds. I wish I could have put 50 pictures in this slide right here because I have them. Of the crowds that the turf brought in, you can see we've probably rented the Hughes Center more this year than we've ever rented it. The rentals have really been up everywhere. The one picture up there is the Eclipse, as you know. I wish I could have got the aerial of Hickey on there where cars were lined up down the road parked. That's just how many people we're bringing into town every weekend. Make sure I didn't miss anything on that. Also, same thing with soccer. Soccer's pictures are not up there. If you've ever been to soccer on a Saturday morning, you better get there earlier. You're going to be walking a ways to watch your kids play soccer. And at the end, there it is. We work from daylight to sunset, nearly every weekend. Sometimes we work till sunrise on some of them. So, but this year's just been great for us. I mean, I think next year will even be greater. Just a few of the projects I'm going to tell you that we got. I had the Washburn Playground. It's already done. James Park Playground is coming next year. It'll be a two-piece set. It'll be the main play unit. Then it'll be swings right across the sidewalk from it. That is one thing they requested out there. The Game and Fish grant from the fuel tax, the OE to boat dock will come in. That will be done right at the first of the year. We've got 6 new pickleball courts coming to soccer. Hopefully we will have a mini soccer field coming to soccer. Soccer Association's working on that. It's like a enclosed field. It's not indoors, but it's got walls around it. You play on this little short court. And then hopefully we will get a grant for our skate park to have it redone. And there's lots of other things I could list forever and ever, but I don't want to bore you with that. You can come and talk to me if you want to know about any of the other projects we're doing next year. Any questions you have for me?
I don't have a question, but I do want to make a comment because you presented today to A&P, the Advertising and Promotion Commission, that those turf fields, man, you talk about a game changer. When we're turning away people when, a couple of years ago, we were begging people, weren't we,
Yes.
to come play here.
Yes.
So it was a really good investment by the city. So I just want to commend you and all the work you do. And, with all the trail systems we got and everything else, it's amazing what you and your folks do. So I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Moving right on to Personnel Committee, Mr. Paul Gray, do you have anything this week?
We have several things for the council. I would like to present to you en masse the items from the fire department. These were all recommended with a due pass from the Personnel Committee. You have the salary plan, and I would be able to answer any questions you might have as well. The chief is here, can answer any questions. This plan is self-funded the first year by the fire department, and then will be scaled down where the city will take over this. But what you see in orange there is really the bulwark of this, because what this does for our entry-level folks is it really gives them a substantial raise and kind of gets us to the point where we're competitive. I wouldn't say we're stratospheric yet, but it's where we're competitive, and that's where Chief has talked about as our biggest problem is retaining those new hires in that first 1 to 3, 4 years. The second item is the assistant chief positions. These are EMS, fire marshal, and administration. These are jobs that are currently being done, but Chief needed these restructured for a couple of reasons. Command structure for the chief. These are folks that are already doing jobs that are full-time jobs, and they're having to do other jobs, but this will level out that where it makes more sense and looks like departments. And then the last one is the training captain. This will not be a new hire. We had a deployed firefighter. So this job will be absorbed. It's a job that's, and Chief, you may have to help me on this one, but it's a job that's already there, but we need, it's a training captain job for those, if you're looking at your packet. But again, all 5 of these, I present to the council with a, do we need a motion to adopt, Mr. Parliamentarian?
Yes.
Okay, with a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt with, from the Personnel Committee. All in favor? Or no,
Well,
any
just-
discussion? Any discussion?
Yeah, any discussion? Does anybody got any questions of the chief? He's here and ready to answer any questions.
So with the new training captain, would that fall on, I'm looking at the salary structure, does that fall under the captain or staff captain?
Staff, excuse me, that would be a staff captain position, be a 40-hour week. That answer your question on that?
Yeah.
All right. So got a motion on the table to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Mr. Gray?
Thank you for all your hard work, Chief. I know that was a long time coming on that. The second is a new position for the city of Russellville for a recreation program manager. And I would ask if you could come up, the department head would come up here, Terry would come up and maybe explain this if you have any questions. It's basically he has had people working on weekends, multiple people trying to cover this, and what we really need, especially as you can see with all of the new use, we need this program manager position. So if you would, just so everybody knows how desperately this is needed.
We have never had a program. We have an athletic director, but we've never had a programmer that's under that athletic director. The athletic director right now, with all 27 tournaments, that's pretty much a full-time job. What we're trying to do is get somebody in here that can help bring in pickleball tournaments, that can help bring in soccer tournaments, bago tournaments, whatever, even do stuff during the winter. If we got into volleyball, basketball, whatever, we want that person to help do that and help with softball, baseball. We kind of want to have somebody that can deal with the baseball folks too, the baseball tournament directors that come in from all over the state. We just need some help in that area.
The Personnel Committee presents this to the council as a due pass as well. So I would make a motion to adopt.
Okay, I have a motion to adopt on the floor. Anybody, any discussion?
What's the salary on the new position?
It's $18 an hour, so it's about 37, somewhere in there.
When we went through the budget process, this was already in the budget for next
sir.
year, right? So, yeah.
Yes, this was in the budget that you did approve. All right, I have a motion to adopt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Mr. Gray.
Finally, Mr. Mayor, we have a new position that, again, from the Personnel Committee was unanimous for due pass. This would be a Director of Sustainability and Resilience. You have that job description in front of you. This is something the mayor's been working on. Actually, something I've been wanting for the last couple of years is a Director of Sustainability, but the mayor put together a package here with resilience, ADA compliance. Let's see what else. I'm leaving out one. What's the other one, Mayor?
You got some historic preservation.
Yeah, historic preservation, floodplain management. So it's gonna whoever's gonna wear this hat's gonna be doing a lot of things. But it's some things that, especially floodplain management, that just kind of sits out there, and we do it when we need to. But I think this would give us a lot of guidance throughout the city. Everything from, I believe, a sustainability component alone within the first couple of years. Most cities who do this, the Russellville School District's done this, you can realize about as much, you can almost save their salary in the first couple of years. With some good practices within the city. So I would make a motion to adopt, and then any discussion or any questions.
Got a motion, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Mr. Gray, you have the police department salary plan. It got lost up there.
Salary plan.
That
one's not in front of me. That's why
I see that guy's big enough back there. Then I want to pass that for him. So.
Yeah, that one's not in front of me. I didn't have a piece of paper.
Well, it's on my agenda.
It is in your email. That is kind of the same thing the fire department's doing. That the police department is trying to make things more competitive. Again, when they lose officers, is that first 1 to 3 years. This is unanimously recommended by the Personnel Committee, and I make a motion to adopt.
I got a motion to adopt on the table. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That
Now
passed.
I think I'm finished, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gray. All right. At this point in time, Mr. Westcott, do you have anything with the Finance Committee?
We have just a few things, Mayor. Thank you. Beginning with our agenda from the 5:30 meeting this evening, if you will. Item number 1 is an appropriation request from the General Fund 2023 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $17,832.83 to be used to fund the Civic Plus add-ons for the city's website. And we present item number 1 as a motion to adopt.
I have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on.
Item number 2 is an appropriation request from the reserves of the Russellville EMS Services Fund, the sum of $349,446.92 to be used to pay off the total liabilities owed for the ambulances and the ambulance cots. And we present item number 2 as a motion to adopt.
All right, I have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on.
What's now numbered, item number 3 and 3A. Number 3 is consideration of a resolution that would waive competitive bidding, authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to execute all necessary documents with Global Industrial to acquire 3 Generac mobile diesel vertical LED light towers. And number 3A is the appropriation for that in the amount of $43,818. And we present items number 3 and 3A as a motion to adopt.
All right, I got a motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
From our meeting last week, item number 1 is consideration of an ordinance that would approve the private club permit for Ridgewood Brothers Barbecue Club Incorporated, required for the state private club permit application to the Arkansas Alcoholic Beverage Control Division per Arkansas Code annotated 3-9-222 as amended and for other purposes. We present item number 1 as a motion to suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 2 readings by title with a short explanation.
All right, I've got a motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir?
An ordinance approving the city private club permit for Ridgewood Brothers Barbecue Club Incorporated, required by the state private club permit application to the Arkansas Alcoholic Beverage Control Division per Arkansas Code annotated section 3-9-222 as amended and for other purposes. This ordinance passed would approve a city permit for Ridgewood Brothers Barbecue at 803 West Main Place as required by state law.
All right.
Okay, item number 2 similarly is consideration of an ordinance that would approve the private club permit for Circe Social Club doing business as La Huerta of Russellville number 2, required for the state private club permit application to the Arkansas Alcoholic Beverage Control Division per Arkansas Code annotated 3-9-222 as amended and for other purposes. And we present item number 2 as a motion to suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 2 readings by title with a short explanation.
All right, I have a motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance approving the city private club permit for Circe Social Club doing business as La Huerta of Russellville number 2, required by the state private club permit application to the Arkansas Alcoholic Beverage Control Division as per Arkansas Code annotated section 3-9-222 as amended and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would grant a city permit required by state law to the social club doing business as La Huerta of Russellville number 2 at the location 1510 East Main Street.
Item number 3 is an appropriation request from a combination of the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund reserves and the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission Marine Fuel Tax Grant. The sum of $104,000 to be used to purchase a courtesy dock and the parking lot repairs at the Oweta Boat Ramp. And we present item number 3 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on.
Items number 4 and 4A. Item number 4 is a line item transfer request from drainage projects to the US 64 East Pedestrian Improvement Project in the amount of $681,190 to fund the construction contract, construction utility contingency, and the testing of the US 64 East Main Street Pedestrian Improvements Project. Number 4A is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to accept the lowest responsible bid and to sign a construction agreement and associated paperwork with Western Millwright Commercial Construction Incorporated for the construction of street pedestrian improvements along East Main Street. And we present items number 4 and 4A as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion. Any discussion?
Can we just describe, because this is a big deal, I think, for our citizens, and a lot of times citizens don't get to be a part of the agenda prep meeting where we see a lot of the details of this. Can we just take a minute just to talk about it?
Mr. Newman, will you state your name and
Yes, sir.
for
Glenn Newman, city engineer. Be happy to discuss this project. This is a much-needed pedestrian connectivity along the north side of East Main Street. It begins near the Knoxville intersection. It connects north to the sidewalk that's at Public Works, because there's a gap there along the place that was Western Citizen, now Check H. So it makes that connectivity, and then continues on the north side from Knoxville to the bridge overpass to give us a complete, where there's also, you can tell where people walk down that area. There'll be a second phase coming on this project that's in design right now that takes permitting from the RDOT specialist in Little Rock to allow push-button signal crossing the highway at Knoxville to the south side with additional sidewalk connectivity to the Walgreens. And subsequently, over the next couple years, the raised grant will also be on the other side, on the west side of Knoxville going south, which we're also doing some prep work in association with that at the same time. So you'll see that to complement this, to give us that total connectivity.
This is amazing because I live in that area, and there are so many people trying to cross safely there, and it's insane. So that's really great. This is such a great project, and really happy to see it get started.
It's great.
Fair to say we're trying to connect two heavily foot trafficked areas,
Yes, sir.
downtown and the Knoxville intersection.
Yes, sir. We're constantly looking at the connectivity. Obviously, the DIG downtown project is a walkability beautification project, and this will extend that corridor with sidewalks connecting it all the way down to the Knoxville location, which beyond Knoxville, the sidewalks are in place along Main Street, so we're filling that gap with this connection. And you'll soon to see, we have a project that y'all have approved for the design services on the west end of town, north side, similar type project from Skyline area all the way out to nearly the overpass at the railroad along the main street there to allow that connectivity in front of the movie theater and along that corridor also.
I just think it's amazing the work you guys are doing at Public Works to like put into place. Like we have citizens come to us and they say we need a sidewalk. I walked from here, or I saw somebody walking down the street because there wasn't a sidewalk, and like we can't just make that happen the next day, like
Right.
obviously,
Yes,
but it is important to us.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are the ones that implement that, and the fact that there is a plan is not lost on us, and so I appreciate the fact that you have kind of been the quarterback for that plan.
Thank you. It's
to-
all our
yeah.
planning division, public works, mayor's office, we're all working together, and your input is greatly appreciated. I know we get requests from council and sometimes citizens, and as we look at the corridor location, we try to program that in. May not be that year or the following year, but we're looking at the big picture, trying to get that in.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Thank you also to Ms. John Dahl, who's sitting back there. I know you are key in that realm of things. Okay, so I've got a motion, no more discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, yes, sir.
All right, items number 5 and 6. Item number 5 is an appropriation request from the City General Fund 2023 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $221,220.75 to be used to fund the winter stipend for the General Fund Department salaries and the federal insurance contributions. Similarly, number 6 is an appropriation request from the City General Fund 2023 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $27,989 to be used to fund the winter stipend for the street fund employees' salaries and their federal insurance contributions. And we present items number 5 and 6 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
Item number 7 is an appropriation request from the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund number 7, the amount of $60,209 to be used to purchase a new command vehicle for the fire department. And we present item number 7 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion on the floor. Any discussion?
Yes, there is. Just a comment that this amount is less than the state bid amount, and I appreciate very much the hard work that went into this final figure. Chief, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Item number 8 is consideration of an ordinance that would adopt the Fiscal Affairs Code by codifying existing city ordinances and resolutions governing fiscal affairs of the city. And we present item number 8 as a motion to suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title with a short explanation.
Have a motion on the floor on the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance adopting a city code for fiscal affairs and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would consolidate into a code the following ordinances, 939, 1216, 1595, 1783, 1926, 1986, 2032, 2051, 2099, 2199, and 2395, along with resolutions 801, 834, 1287, and 1823 into one code.
Okay, item number 9 is consideration of a reimbursement request for the third quarter expenses for the Boys and Girls Club in the amount of $30,000 in accordance with their current contract. And we present item number 9 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion on the floor to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Mayor, I yield the floor back to you.
Thank you, Chairman. Moving on to unfinished old business, we have a consideration of an ordinance amending the city code for offenses involving public safety, health, and welfare, Article 4, adopted by Ordinance 2477, adding new chapter, Chapter 5, regulating hours of operation for all city parks, consolidating ordinances regulating city parks. This is sponsored by Trey Smith, City Attorney. This is the third and final reading.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the requirement to read every word, read the third and final time by title with a short explanation.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance amending the city code for offenses involving public safety, health, and welfare, Article 4, adopted by ordinance number 2477, by adding a new chapter, Chapter 5, regulating hours of operation for all city parks, consolidating ordinance regulating city parks, repealing ordinance numbers 1267, 1303, 1319, 1333, 1367, 1541, 1887, and 2037. This ordinance, if passed, would consolidate all the aforementioned ordinances into a new article for the existing code that was adopted by 2477 into a new chapter, Chapter 5.
Motion to adopt.
I have a motion and a second. That was Mr. George. Any final discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Item 2 will be consideration of an ordinance adoption of a city business permit and resolutions code for other purposes. This is second of 3 readings. The request is being that the item be read for the last time as the RFP and Parks and Recs and Planning Commissioner wanted to have this in effect for the Christmas parade.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules and read for the second and final time by title only with a short explanation.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir?
An ordinance adopting a city business permit and regulations code, and for other purposes, this ordinance, if passed, would revise the current city business permit ordinance and update it, regulate it, and address, I believe, certain things regarding temporary permits, and sets out a fine and penalties and definitions.
Motion to adopt.
I have a motion and a second to adopt. Any final discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Moving on to item 3, consideration of an ordinance providing for levying of a replacement 1 cent or 1% sales and use tax within the city of Russellville, Arkansas, for the period of 7 years, and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto. This is the second of 3 readings. This is submitted by the Finance Department.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the second of 3 readings by title with a short explanation.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance providing for the levy of a replacement 1% sales and use tax with the city of Russellville, Arkansas, for a period of 7 years, and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto. This ordinance, if passed, would levy a sales and use tax for a period of 7 years. The sales tax would commence on January 1st, 2026, and expire December 31st, 2032. The collections would be broken down as the following: 60% next collections for street, roads, and drainage facilities purposes, 40% as follows: 10 for the fire department, police department, 15% for capital improvements to operate costs or both for parks and recreation, and 15% for economic development purposes or capital improvement purposes or both.
Thank you, sir. Item 4 is it's associated with item 3. It is consideration ordinance calling for a special election in the city of Russellville, Arkansas, on the question of levying a replacement 1% sales and use tax within the city of Russellville. This is also submitted by the Finance Department, and this is the second of 3 readings also.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, and read the second of 3 readings by title with a short explanation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir?
An ordinance calling for a special election in the city of Russellville, Arkansas, on the question of levying a replacement 1% sales and use tax within the city of Russellville, Arkansas, prescribing other matters pertaining thereto, and declaring an emergency. This ordinance, if passed, would set a election for the city to vote on the aforementioned proposed ordinance on the date of May 15th, 2025.
All right, thank you, sir. Is it May 15th? I thought it was May 13th for some reason. I guess I'm wrong.
Sorry, did I say it was May 13th?
Okay, okay.
All right.
I thought it was May 13th. I was like, how's that possible? But okay, thank you, sir. All right, moving on to item 5, consideration of an ordinance authorizing the extension of water outside the city limits of the city of Russellville. This is to 2420 Bradley Cove Road. For other purposes, this is submitted by Craft and Toll, and this is unanimously recommended by the Planning Commission, and this is the second of 3 readings.
Move that we suspend the rules, read for the second of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance authorizing extension of water outside the city limits of the city of Russellville, Arkansas to 2420 Bradley Cove Road and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would fulfill the requirements of ordinance number 1458, which requires city council approval for water that is services outside the city limits of the city, and would extend it to 2420 Bradley Cove Road.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, moving on to new business. Item 1 is going to be a consideration of ordinance, double consideration ordinance there, of an amendment to zone text amendment to adopt proposed changes to the Russellville zoning code. This is submitted by the Planning Commission.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title with a short explanation.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir?
An ordinance amending the zoning code for the city of Russellville, Arkansas, which was adopted by ordinance number 2443 and for other purposes. This ordinance would make the following amendments to the zoning code, current zoning code adopted by ordinance number 2443. In Article 3 regarding specific district regulations, sections 2.3 single-family residential district, Article 3 additional district provisions on commercial building design, Article 4 involving fences, walls, and hedges, permitted heights, and also 4.5 materials, Article 5 landscaping, screening, and buffering requirements, specifically sections 5.11 landscape installation requirements, and Section 5.12 tree preservation credits, Article 6 off-street parking load requirements concerning Section 6.1 off-street parking requirements.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 2, it's consideration ordinance accepting annexation election lands and assigned annex lands to the city. Ward number 4, submitted by Trey Smith, city attorney. There is a request to read this one time and one time only.
There's state law about the county clerk needs to be done within 30 days or as soon as practical.
Okay. Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read one time by title only with a short explanation.
Have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir?
Nor accepting annexation of lands to the city of Russell, Arkansas, assigning said annexed lands to City Ward 4, and for other purposes, this ordinance if passed would accept the annexation election results and accept the land that was designated to be annexed into the city and would assign those annexed lands to Ward 4 for representation.
Have a motion and a second to adopt. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on. Item 3 is consideration of an ordinance codifying ordinance numbers 256, 278, 377, 391, 393, 412, and 550, and 2407 into the existing city traffic and parking code submitted by Trey Smith, our city attorney.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the requirement to read every word out loud, read the first of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
What did you say?
First of 3 by title with a short explanation.
One of three. You have a motion for one of 3. Do you have a second? You have a second? Okay, I have a motion and a second on reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance amending the existing city traffic and parking code adopted by ordinance number 1478, provide for the repeal of existing ordinance and sections of ordinance in conflict herewith and other purposes. This ordinance passed would consolidate into the existing traffic and parking code following things that's already on the city books as ordinances involving downtown parking, double parking, the towing code that in existence, and also the naming of the streets and addresses for downtown areas.
All right, thanks, sir. Moving on to item 4, and the one we've been looking for.
Hey, I have a question about that, and this is just my own curiosity, I'm sorry. Basically, we are going to be able to make decisions about the parking? Is that what we're saying? This is, we already have decisions that have been made about parking, and we're just putting them in these are no new requirements for
No.
parking? Okay.
Yeah, this is just.
This is an
Just
old-
codifying.
Consolidating all
Yeah.
put it in all in one spot like we've been doing.
Sorry, just
Mr.
went
Smith's
real quick.
been
and I
working
was
really
not
hard
ready
on that, so.
for all of those
This is
numbers.
just
Well,
stuff from
I'm
old.
curious about something else. We just adopted the land in, but we wait 3 months to do anything about traffic or parking codes, or am I missing something?
Well, no, this is not the parking code on the annexed lands. This is other,
Okay.
this is other things.
Yeah,
No.
all this stuff is already on the books.
On the
Okay,
books.
gotcha.
And it
He's
doesn't
just
affect it.
codifying this,
This
yeah.
is just putting it all in one spot.
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
yeah, we got Ward 4 coming up
Yeah.
again, so that's why I was confused. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Item 4 is consideration of an ordinance codifying ordinance number 2404, which currently assigns city wards into the city administration code. This is submitted by Trey Smith, our city attorney.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance amending the city administration code adopted by ordinance number 2460 by codifying ordinance number 1404 into the city administration code for the purposes. This ordinance would codify 1404, which is the current designation of wards in the city, and would just put them into the city administration code that sets out all the elected officials. It's just a convenient place to find city procedures and all city officials type deals. And so it's going to be put into Article 5, a new article, and nothing will be changed.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we will adjourn. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.